Hello, everyone. This is me, Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about self-care. Self-care, things we need to do for ourselves. The first aspect of self-care is going to be nutrition, our physical body, taking care of the food that we put into our bodies, exercising, and also health care, taking care of our health. One of the things that I neglected, one of the many millions of things I neglected along the way on my healing journey was my health. I didn't go to the doctor enough. I didn't, take care of certain things. I ended up having a heart attack last year. And I didn't even, take care of my body properly. And although I did work out and I exercised and I made sure I looked okay, I wasn't taking care of the inside of my body. So this whole past year has been a real awakening for me. I also realized during my recovery that I wasn't eating properly. That my therapist was like, so what are you eating? And I was like, nothing. And at the moment I wasn't fat or anything, but I realized that I had been starving myself. And so that started me on my process. She's like, well, go get food. And she said, you can go get those little fit foods in a package or from the prepared food place. And at first when she said it, I was like, nah, I'm not going to worry about nutrition, because it just slipped my mind. It completely was out of my mind. And then I did it and I started eating well and it was really awesome. And I started going to that MyFitFoods and I got more breakfast, lunch, and dinner and I started feeding myself and I started healing because I started feeding myself food. And so since that time, I had a heart attack and then started eating even better than ever and started cooking for myself every day and making smoothies and working out and doing all kinds of great things for my body. As I have taken these little steps, even though it wasn't easy in the beginning, I began to heal from the inside out or from the outside in. So it's a mirror. What you manifest on the outside is a mirror of what's going on the inside. If you love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself, and that includes your diet and your exercise and your health care. Now, I know that there are some blocks to taking care of yourself, and some of that has to do with just mental health. If you've gone through trauma, sometimes it's hard to even do anything for yourself. But when you are on your healing journey, just remember to start taking care of the little things with your body, one step at a time, even if it's just to make yourself breakfast, just one step at a time. Okay. And then the second thing I want to talk about is getting counseling. That's part of self-care, getting counseling. There shouldn't be a stigma against counseling. There's no harm, no foul for going to a counselor, to getting help with your issues, to getting help with the places where you need some extra help. Nobody can heal alone. There's a lot of generational stuff that has come down through the generations from all of our families because of the way they handled children in the past that all of us are going to have. Everybody, I haven't really met anyone that doesn't need counseling unless they're a massive narcissist who thinks they know everything and they're happy and they don't feel anything. So forget those people. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about normal people, you and me, who need help. Male or female, we all need help. And so you need a good therapist. You need to pick someone that you feel comfortable with, that has experience in the areas that you are particularly hurt in. Like if you're suffering from narcissistic abuse, you need a therapist who understands narcissism and who knows about no contact and who knows about gaslighting and knows about the things that narcissists do. If you've gone through childhood trauma, then you need a therapist who understands childhood trauma. If you've had sexual abuse, you need a therapist who specializes in sexual abuse. You need to get someone who specializes in your issue, but you need to get some counseling. You need to get some assistance. If you cannot afford it, then you need to do whatever you can. I would literally get a second job in order to go to counseling. It's that important, and you cannot heal all the way without it. For many reasons, I'll do another video on that. If you are in a remote place where you don't have access to counselors, if you're somewhere in the world where you don't have access to counselors, then Skype is a great way to get a therapist. And I personally am working with the therapist on Skype, and it's working great. Surprised me, but it works wonderfully well. Okay, and then another way that we need to take care of ourselves, and this is what I'm really going to focus on for the video, is we need to take care of ourselves emotionally. We need to take care of ourselves emotionally. So doing all the work involved in therapy and recovery and healing from whatever childhood wounding occurred to us, whatever kind of shaming, whatever kind of toxic shame came into our lives, we also need to take care of ourselves, our minds. We need to take care of our self-talk, how we talk to ourselves, what we're saying to ourselves, and we need to make sure that we heal from the wounds that were inflicted upon us in childhood, as well as what is happening to us right now. We need to care for how we live our lives, which means we do not allow our inner child, ourselves, to be bamboozled, to be run over by others. We don't allow ourselves to be abused. We don't cut ourselves. We don't overfeed ourselves. We don't drink too much. We don't do things that are destructive to our bodies. We need to take care of ourselves so we do things that are constructive, that are building ourselves up instead of tearing ourselves down. And the only way you can do this is by one day at a time going through the healing journey, going through the healing process. Because before you finish, before you get healed, you don't feel like doing anything for yourself. I know that feeling. I know the feeling very, very well, where you don't want to do anything for yourself because you just don't feel like it. You don't know why, and you don't care. You just want to watch TV and drink a beer or whatever. I understand that feeling, but once you begin to get free, once you start doing some emotional work and counseling and eating right and making yourself put one foot in front of the other and going for a walk and doing things and making friends and protecting yourself from people who are abusive towards you and who are out to exploit you and use you, then you will begin to get stronger and stronger, and you'll begin to want to take care of yourself a little more and a little more. So as you get healed, this is what's happened with me. So as I've been getting healing, I'll get healing, and then I'll take care of myself a little more. And then I take care of myself a little more. It gives me a little more self-esteem, so I'll take care of myself a little more. And then I'll take care of my little self a little more and a little more. And as I go back and do the core shame work, which I'm going to talk about that pretty soon in a video, toxic shame, core shame work. Every time I go back and do some of that, I obviously have a lot because I've done this before, but I'm back doing it again. Every time I do that, I get freedom. I get an immense sense of freedom and an understanding of my beauty and my worth and my value. And there's nothing like that in the world. Whenever you do your core shame work and begin to work on yourself and begin to find out the truth about yourself, there's nothing like the freedom of knowing who you truly are and knowing what you truly deserve. And that causes you to take even more steps to take care of yourself, to take care of your nutrition, to read books that are valuable, to let yourself laugh, to connect with your inner child, to make wonderful friends, to get rid of friends that are harmful to you, to protect yourself, to listen to your heart, to set boundaries, to break up with people that are bad for you, to shut the door to past relationships that don't work, those kinds of things. As you begin to do the core shame work, as you begin to take care of yourself, as you get counseling and stuff like that, then you will begin to really feel amazing. And then you will be able to take better care of yourself, and you will soar like a beautiful phoenix in the sky. And I wish everybody luck. Thank y'all so much for sending me all these wonderful emails. I read them, love them. Whenever I get an email from one of you that says, you know, your story, and then you come to me and tell me the things that I know I've said online on my channel, it blows me away, and it makes me feel amazing that you guys are really using this stuff to heal, because Lord knows it did not come easy. Ugh. Anyway, but I do love your emails. If you come to my fan page on Self Love You, just go Self Love You on Facebook. If you can send me an email there, I get those. You can leave me a comment. You can ask for my email address. I will give that to you. Would love to hear from you guys. I don't charge a thing. I'm not doing this to become famous. I'm not doing this for any money. I'm just doing this to share my journey. And it really feels good to share it. And it really feels good to know that someone can use it. And so that's why I'm doing it. And maybe someday I'll sell a book or something. But anyway, thank you so much. You guys, thank you so much for everything. And good luck in your journey. Take care of yourselves. I'm Jenna Ryan. Self Love You. Talk to you soon.